Don't try to fit your whole life into a box. Like explore as many options as possible, and you'll see that you'll find your way and your path through it. And with everything that brings you the most joy and passion and drive and fire, then pursue that and you'll do great.
Welcome back to After the Routine. I'm your host, Rochelle Provo, and I'm here with someone who has experienced cheerleading from just about every angle over the past 20 years, Dominique Longpre. Dominique is the co-owner of Cheer Action, a Canadian cheerleading uniform and gear company, and the Canadian representative for COP Brands, which runs two incredible events in Mexico that I hear about all the time, and one day I will eventually get to. Along the way, she's also carved out a career as a registered dietitian. For Dominique, cheerleading is a lifelong passion that keeps shifting and somehow always finding its way back. Thank you so much for being a part of this podcast, Dominique.
Thank you for inviting me.
I'm so excited to talk about what you do because I think your career and what you've done has been really interesting. And I think goes back to the point that every guest on this podcast has said, you always find a way back to cheerleading.
Yeah, when it's your passion, you go back to it and you feel your happiest. So why not?
Right? So how did you get started in the sport of cheerleading?
It was through my high school team. So I did scholastic cheer first, and then I got into All-Star, and my love for the sport deepened even more. I just love the bling, the showmanship, and all the routines that are over the top. It speaks to me, and I just fell in love with it. And since then, I just rolled with it, and 20 years later, still there in another shape and form, but still there.
I know, right? Isn't it so cool that we get to hang out at cheerleading competitions and like talk about cheerleading all the time?
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. It was a dream when I first started cheer in high school. It was a dream to continue to do that as much as possible and to be now a retired athlete, but continuing to be involved in the sport is just the greatest joy.
I love that. So what about cheerleading was that thing that like hooked you in, that you were like, oh my God, I love this?
Definitely that it's a team sport. And as a flyer, like you give your life to your teammates. In which other sports do you put your life in someone else's hands? Like this is crazy. You have to have so much trust. And then, like I said, the aspect of showmanship and showing as your most confident, best self, like almost an alter ego. But then the more you practice it, the more you become confident. So this aspect of the sport is the one that I love. And the fact that cheerleading is such a well-rounded sport, like you learn musicality, you learn flexibility, you learn power, strength, and all these different aspects of the human performance is just extraordinary.
Yeah. I always say, I don't know who decided to throw a human and flip them around and catch them, but I really appreciate that they
Grateful.
did. I'm always like, I don't know what the first thought was to do this, but like I get to do it all the time. So that's really cool. But yeah, I 100% agree with you to like the flyer component of it. I used to fly in high school, and now being in my late 20s when I went back and did All-Star cheer, I was like, keep me on the ground. Like I cannot go back up there. I will throw the humans. Yeah.
Yeah. And have you seen those pyramids from back in the days, way, way, way back when they did 3 level ups and they would dismount in a front roll straight to the ground, like stuff, crazy stuff.
One I always think of is a couple years ago now, Western University, their co-ed team competed it, and they like threw their flyer like 3 panels, and it was the last year that it was legal. And I just remember thinking, my God, like that is so cool. And it's such a unique thing to our sport.
Yeah. That's how you get hooked and you just love it. And there's always something unexpected that you look forward to seeing.
Every time. So then unexpected wise, your career journey has really taken its own little path. So then when you decided to retire as an athlete, how did you stay in the sport?
It was a whirlwind looking back on it. While I was an athlete, I also started my career as a coach and a camp instructor. but I did all of that while still being an athlete. And when I retired, I also stopped being a coach and I went to Mexico. So my last year as an athlete, I went to Mexico to a COP Brands event, and it just blew my mind how amazing the production was, but also like the quality of the experience that you got there. And I told to myself, I want more people to experience that. This is the true pinnacle of cheerleading. It's the memories that you take with you forever. It was the most amazing trip. So coming back from that trip, from that last year of being an athlete, me and my partner Daniel, we spoke with the team at COP and decided to be their representatives in North America. And they said yes. So we helped promote their competition. And year after year, we brought more and more teams as the word spread out throughout Canada and the US. And now every year we get to go back and be in Mexico again and have this joy of experiencing it with more people and seeing it through a newcomer eye. Each year is so fun, so fun.
Which is so cool to say that you get to travel internationally for cheerleading.
You really have to think outside the box, but this is how it went.
I love that. And then so with that being said, with the COP brands, you mentioned like the production value in those experiences. So for coaches or gym owners or athletes who are thinking about going to those types of events, what are things that you wish that they knew?
Just how amazing the quality of the routines are internationally. We often think of Canada and the US, like North America, to be the strongest hub for cheerleading. And it is, but truly the rest of the world is catching up. And you see some amazing cheerleading in level 1, 2, 3 to 7, really, in these other countries that we don't visit as often, but we should. This is something that can be surprising at first, but when you experience it, then you just know the world of cheerleading is much grander than we think of it.
Yeah, 100%. Especially when we think about like worlds, we only think about Canada and US, right? And there is an incredible atmosphere of cheerleading that's happening in Britain specifically that I know about. And they are really taking off in cheerleading. And I love watching all of the things that come out from there because I'm just like so excited to see it come across globally and be able to see so many teams compete with each other.
Exactly. And at the end of the day, competing is what unites us. You know, cheer comps, we're against one another, but we're also coming together to celebrate the sport, and we cheer on each other routine as well. So it's just awesome to have that sentiment with teams from across continents.
Yeah. So then now in your day-to-day job, you also run a uniform and, gear, pro shop gear company. So what does that actually mean? Like in terms of like, if someone's like, oh, I'd really love to get into fashion. What does it mean to run a uniform and gear company?
For us, for Cheer Action, this brand started more as a service. So we were thinking, how can we serve better our community, our sport that we love, and help it grow even more? And what are two things that characterize cheerleading the most, in my opinion, are competitions, because you, as a cheerleader, you want to create a routine and practice your routine in order to go to your competition. It wouldn't be the same if we didn't have competition, right? So this is one aspect that we covered with COP brands. But then we were thinking about the uniform side of it. Because when you put your uniform on, it's like you wear your superhero cape and you're entering this alter ego, like I said earlier. And it's really something special and something that's reserved for special days that you get to put your uniform on. So we started thinking and talking about it, and we started this brand Cheer Action as a way to serve better our community. And the fact that COP brands was twice a year, so it was really a specific point in time throughout the year, but Cheer Action filled those gaps throughout the year, so we could basically just do cheer all days of the year.
Which is
Which
like
is great.
the dream.
I'm not complaining.
So then what does your like day-to-day look like then?
We run operations, so everything from serving the clients with their needs and custom designs for everything, uniform, shoes, gear. So all of these operations and creating designs, mock-ups, we manage. And then all the aspects of marketing to get more clients and content creation and partnerships throughout the industry, we also try to work on. So these are the main aspects of my day-to-day life. Yeah.
Just so cool that you get to design uniforms and like pro shop gear.
Yeah, it's really fun. And we just love all the bling. Recently, we just launched a fully blinged shoe and it looks phenomenal. It
I
looks so
love
good.
that.
I just want to buy one pair for myself for when I walk around at competition.
That's what I was just about to say. I was like, ooh, I need to go look at that because I'm trying to up my competition gear this year. So like as a coach, I'm not competing this year. So I'm like, I need that bling because I also like, I love the sparkle. And like you said, like the uniforms and putting them on, it's a mindset shift, right? Like practice is one thing, but wearing practice gear puts your team on a different level. They all think the same. They look the same. When you're choreographing, it's easier to see, okay, this person is, off center or, not in the right spot.
Yes.
And then when you put on those uniforms, I like to do a uniform practice before the first competition. So they
The
like
week
are like,
before.
okay, yeah. And like, this is what the uniform feels like because practicing in practice gear versus practicing in your uniform are two very different things.
Yeah. You just feel professional and you feel like your best self. You're putting your best foot forward.
So then when you go into designing uniforms, what does that process look like?
We do have a catalog, so we have a few ideas we can take from each uniform, and we try to characterize like by category. So let's say, okay, you like this neckline, and then you like these sleeves and this back design and the skirt design. So we break it down into like specific parts of the uniform, and then with all the ideas, we bring it together and send the list to our graphic designer, and they're able to put all of these ideas into a digital design, which is very exciting at first to see your idea coming to fruition. And from there, we can do some little tweaks until we get to the perfect mock-up that you are literally falling in love with and you think it's the most perfect to represent your brand, your gym, your team. And from there, we can go up to production, which is where it all comes to life, and seeing a drawing going to a real life clothing is really exciting and interesting.
And all the bling.
Yeah, always.
That's awesome. So then how has your experience as an athlete and a coach helped you in business?
Oh, that's a good question. I think that it lit a certain fire in me that I try to carry with me still now. And the team aspect of it, when you have to be your best self, but also bring your team with you towards the goal and work together so that the whole routine looks good. This, I think, can translate really well into the workplace because oftentimes you work with other people and there might be struggles. There might be someone that's lagging on something, but the whole group has to come together so that the project works. So the project is like the routine. So I feel like it translates really well.
Yeah, that team mentality of we have a goal, we have to accomplish it, and we have to accomplish it by a certain day, right? In cheerleading, it's a competition, but in business, it could be that client needs their uniform mock-up.
Yes, a certain deadline or a certain project that needs to be done by this date. Let's say with the AIA, with the tournament that's coming up in a few weeks, it's been, again, a whirlwind. It's been so fascinating to learn about even more aspects of the sport and the event production side of the sport. Because yes, with COP, we were representative, so we were more on the sales side, right? And helping translate and helping on site with any situation that might occur. But being on the event production side is even more interesting, and it's a completely new aspect for us this year.
Yeah. So let's dive into AIA because for anyone who doesn't know, AIA is a global tournament that is going to be happening every 18 months. And right now it's when this episode releases, it'll have just passed / is kind of going on at the same time. So you guys have been involved as affiliate members and then also on committees. So, you had talked about that sales process, but what has the experience been bringing a actual global tournament where, like you talked about, you're bringing people from all across the world to compete together on the same score sheet in the same divisions, head to head.
Yeah, it started as an idea more than 2 years back. And since then, it's been a lot of work, but also coming together with many different event producers and companies, brands around the world, which had this kind of knowledge. So by working together, we were able to put in place this tournament that will take place in Montreal for the first edition. But next time around, it will be in another country, which will be revealed soon. So everyone's expertise just came together, and we just, like you said, organized by committees, different aspects of the event production. And by working together and by dividing it into tasks, then we got the job done. And hopefully it's a few more days, but hopefully everything will work out well and will go spectacular. Like you said, this tournament is really different because it brings this aspect of a face-off or face-to-face challenge or match against two teams with different kinds of brackets. So you start like in the soccer World Cup, the football World Cup. Exactly. So you have two teams against each other, and then they continue to go round by round until the grand final. So they can compete up to 5 times. So this is a completely new format. So nobody was experienced with that kind of format, but with previous experiences, we were able to pull through and organize everything, and hopefully everyone will have lots of fun. We are waiting to greet 17 countries to Montreal, so it will be super exciting.
It's amazing. I love that. And it's been shown to work in other sports, like the World Cup in soccer is a great example. And the fact that they're like so close in time, I'm so excited to see the cheerleading world experience that, because like you said, they could compete up to 5 times. So it's like the ultimate champion. Like you are taking that global title, which is something that is going to be totally different than what we've experienced in cheerleading before.
Absolutely, because think of your team. If they can hit it once, if they can hit it twice, like we used to have like 2-day competition, but now they have to have this consistency that's just next level. So when you're crowned grand champion at the AIA, it's truly like fully deserved honor and title.
Cannot wait to see all the things. So you talked about it where, you guys are running Cheer Action. You're also the COP brand representative. You're then on AIA. You have so many passions and projects because you also have been a registered dietitian and you speak at conferences, and there's just so many things. So what is it like to juggle all of these revenue streams and different projects across so many different worlds and also globally?
Yeah, my mindset has been to not put my life in a box, in a single box. I feel like life must be explored and experienced to the fullest. So that was kind of my mindset throughout all these years. And yeah, I've been to school at university to be a registered dietitian, and I was professional in healthcare for over a decade. And then I just realized that the healthcare fatigue hit. When you're working in private settings, in sessions where you have a lot of emotional labor with patients, it takes a toll on you. And after 10 years of doing that, I felt like I did my work and I helped with the health of the population and all my clients that I had. But I felt like I needed to flip a page. And at the same time, all the opportunities in cheer were growing so much that the pivot and the pathway just aligned itself for me. And I love it.
Which is cool because, like you said, not restricting your passions, right? Not going just inside a box and saying, I'm a registered dietitian and I'm a retired athlete, or, I only work for a uniform company, right? Being able to do so many things is also what makes this sport amazing. Like you talked about at the beginning, I like to say that cheerleading is like if you took 6 sports and put it into one, And so it's the same concept, right? Like you don't get stuck in a box. It's not like you can only tumble or you can only dance. Well, now you get to tumble and dance and throw people and catch them, and you're going to go do jumps and weight lift. And there's so many parts of it that
Yeah,
being able to do them is really cool.
exactly, exactly.
So then how do you help yourself stay on track with all of these projects that are going on?
It takes some serious time management skills, I'm telling you. You always have to prioritize. And each week with Daniel, we're sitting down and putting our priorities and what's most important and urgent, this quadrant of urgent and important. And we separate our task and who does what. And we just keep moving forward. So also that's another kind of motto or mantra we go by, is just continue to move forward. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that because I think that could be used by athletes or coaches so much, right? You think about the quadrants of like what's urgent, what's important, what requires your attention, but maybe isn't a priority right now, and what can wait. And we think even about coaches and routines. You're looking at something, you're like,
Mhm.
okay, what is the most important thing I need to tackle in this practice? Or for athletes, that time management side of it, where it's I have high school or college and I need to get my projects done, but I also need to go to practice.
Yeah, yeah. You have to juggle and you have to keep moving forward, do your best, and it's best done than perfect. So keep moving.
Yeah, I love that. Keep moving. Just keep doing it.
Yes.
So for athletes, coaches, and parents who are thinking about that idea of like, what's next? What happens after the routine? What do you wish that they knew about the number of like roles and opportunities in this industry?
My gosh, there are so many, because think of all of the businesses that are into cheerleading, starting with gyms. There are so many roles you can have in someone's gym and helping it grow even more. You can be, again, on the marketing side, on the sales side, on the accountant side. There's so many things you can do to help run this business. But then all of these businesses that are helping the sport thrive. So, like we've mentioned, the competitions, the gear, in and in all of these businesses, you have all kinds of roles of management, sales, of communication skills. So the cheer industry is really broad. We have a friend over at LMX Digital who turned his photography and videography passion into his own business, which is now thriving in multiple countries around the world. And he gets to travel, and he comes from cheerleading as well. So he gets to continue to witness cheerleading and combine it with his other passion for photography and videography. Content creation is so big right now, and I don't think it will slow down. To the
Yeah.
contrary. So you have so many different roles and things you can explore that
Yeah.
can still keep a tie with cheerleading.
Yeah. I was just on the Cheer Dads podcast and I talked about the fact that there are judges and you have
Yes.
volunteers at
Yes.
the actual events that you need help with. There's DJs that literally travel the world and just go to competitions every weekend. Like how cool it is like that.
How amazing.
You just get to hang at a competition, play music. Like there's MCs that call on,
Mhm.
like you said, there's fashion, there's sales, there's communication, anything that you would need to make something happen. There's a role for that.
Yes. I would say for someone who's trying to figure it out, I would say get involved. Get involved with your gym, or get involved with an event producer in your area and just ask, how can I help? How can I be of help? How can I serve? And they will have a job for you. You could be at security for events, you could be at ticket sales, you could be at organizing a schedule or client service. You could do multiple things. If you're having the heart to do so, get involved. There's a place for everyone.
Yeah. And even when you think about being a registered dietitian, even, right? And a medical and healthcare side of it, athletes need the nutrition
Yes,
aspect, or at competitions, we need physiotherapists so that if our athletes
absolutely.
are experiencing any injuries or that there's someone on site who can help do that in a professional way. And there's so many things that we can use in the sport that as we get bigger and we grow, and like you were talking about AIA being a global tournament. Well, that gives so many opportunities. There's even an area in AIA, which is like the professional league.
Yes, very
Yeah,
exciting.
that's awesome. And then we have Pro Cheer League, which is then a paid version of it, they need to have medical staff on hand.
Of
And so
course.
anything
Just
where
like
you have a passion.
anything you have a passion for, there's a space in cheerleading for it. It's so broad. And just think of Team Canada at each training camp. And when they go to their competition, they have to have medical staff caring for them. And there was a job opportunity offering not too long ago. So if you're interested in that, that's how you could help and join. And
Yeah.
mental training of the sport is something that's growing even more
Mhm.
from what I've seen in a couple years, in the latest years. So if you're into sports psychology, you
Yeah.
could do conferences, you could do private sessions or work with a specific team for their mental training. So there's just so many aspects of it.
Yeah, we just had Jeff Benson on the podcast talking about all the things that had to do with like mental performance. So if you haven't checked out that episode, make sure to go check it out.
Yeah,
So
he's
for
great.
he's wonderful. He's such a like just a wonderful human and I could listen to him talk forever. He was like, "Do you
Me
want me to
too.
just keep talking?" I was like, "Please, I'll just sit here and
Please do.
listen." Okay, so is there anything that you've noticed that the cheer industry still needs from the business side of it?
I think we always need more experience in the business side of cheerleading. But I also love that we are all just ex cheerleaders committed their life to cheerleading. So it's a good mix of both having like the professional training to do a certain job, but also just the passion for cheerleading
Yeah. And really having people who are willing to learn and get better at their craft.
and taking their expertise from their own field and helping the cheerleading industry grow more and be more solid, have more solid foundation.
Yeah, I like to say that every experience you learn a lesson, whether that's a lesson that you're like, loved it, we'll take this forward, or a lesson of like, I will never do that again, or I will never want to experience that again. But everything is a lesson that then you can take forward into what you do.
And something I love is every summer we try to make it to at least one coaches conference. And this year, if everything goes well, we'll go to three. So that's really good. But coaches conference is the best spot to learn from a diverse crowd of people and from the best in the industry that also have a unique experience in their field and in cheerleading gyms. So they have like this unique perspective that you can learn from. So I encourage everyone to attend a coaches conference like that. And yeah, keep bettering yourself, keep learning.
And in the coaches conference, there's been a lot of them that have popped up with CIT or junior coach streams so that if you're starting coaching, you can still go to them and get so many benefits out of it.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And I just did a episode on how to get the most out of conferences. So if you haven't
No
checked out that
way.
one, go check it out. Yeah, because
Oh,
I think that there are so many times where younger coaches or people who are new to conferences, they go in and they're really nervous because they're like, okay, well, what do I do or where do I go? Can I talk to
there's
people?
so much. There's so much.
Right. And like also like, and you've been a speaker before, both as a business side, but also in an athlete camp. And can you just
Yeah.
touch on people talking to you? Do you love when people come up or are you like, okay, just kind of hang out over there?
My gosh, let exchange as much as possible. I want it to be a discussion, and the more involved the crowd is with my content I'm delivering, the happier I am. And I want to be able to answer any questions that might pop up. Like right now, I want the specifics, I want the case examples, I want the interaction. So, absolutely, most speakers would say that, I feel like.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. And I think that having been a speaker myself, I am also like, I've signed up to give you as much information and value as I can. So, like, utilize me, send me a message on Instagram, connect with me and like, let's set up a call or something where we can dive a little bit more into it. Because I also think what you've talked about before is creating those relationships is so key. And like, I
Yes.
know that we met at a conference like years ago now. And it's something where as the years have gone along, I'm like, oh, you know what? You need a uniform. Okay, let me connect you to Dominique. Or like go check out Cheer Action. Or like, have you heard about this amazing competition in Mexico, which I swear one day I will get to because I see all the things and it looks like so much fun. And I'm like, I just want to go hang out in the sun and watch cheerleading because that would be really cool.
Yeah, it is so colorful and the atmosphere is so electric and everyone is so friendly and they just want to make friends.
Yeah. Right. And we're all passionate about cheerleading, like you said. That's the one thing that ties all of us together.
And what more do you want than go with your team to another country to perform at the end of the season and then go to the beach and spend the day at the beach and at the pool and have some virgin daiquiris and just spend all day in the sun. It's just the whole experience is just phenomenal.
I love that so much. So then what are some exciting things that are happening at Cheer Action right now?
Like I said, we're launching a new shoe, which is fully sparkly and all bling, which we're really excited about. And this summer, we do have the bag and shoe bundle at $222 for Canadian gyms. So this is our special promotion for the summer until August 25th. So these are the two things that are happening right now at Cheer Action. But with every client, you have like special requests. We had someone request some duffel bags recently. So when we're in the search for duffel bags and how to source the best ones and how to bling them, of course.
Need to bling everything.
Yes. So it's always a new challenge and a new opportunity to create something new. And it all stems from what our clients want and need. So it's really fun.
No day is exactly the same.
Never.
And I think that's what I personally like about it. I run a marketing agency that specializes in cheerleading and tumbling. And I love the variety, being able to work with so many different people and work on so many different projects. And I like to think that cheerleading is very much like that. And I feel like most people in cheerleading like to be busy. They like the action and the change and, the different things that they do. And so being able to use that as your own superpower will just make a huge difference in your career.
And will make you happy.
Which is the goal of it. So do you have any openings on your team or things that you're looking forward to in the next few years or months?
Yeah. Thanks for bringing that up. One of our goal with Cheer Action is to bring someone on our team by the end of the year. Hopefully, if everything goes well, have our first team member join. So keep an eye out for any job openings and share it with as many people as you can.
I cannot wait because we're going to be sharing it all over the podcast, any job opportunities so that we can make sure that people see them. So when you think about your career and all the things you've done, what has been the best way that you have found opportunities in your career or in this industry and then went after them to see what you could do?
Yeah. Like I said earlier, I think it's just get involved. There are opportunities everywhere, and where there isn't, you can create one like we did with COP and with Cheer Action. So you can create your own business if you want to. And if you feel like you can bring something to the industry, then start it yourself like you did with your marketing agency. Exactly. So get involved, be creative, be yourself, and go all in. Do it.
Yeah. And then just get to know as many people as possible.
Yes, exactly. Don't restrict yourself to a single title or don't try to fit your whole life into a box. Explore as many options as possible and you'll see that you'll find your way and your path through it. And with everything that brings you the most joy and passion and drive and fire, then pursue that and you'll do great.
Highlight of the whole episode right there. So if you weren't doing your current role, what other role in cheerleading or youth sports would you want to do?
Very interesting. I've always said that if I wasn't into healthcare, I'd be an accountant. So probably I'd be an accountant for cheer.
You know what? I love that so much. And it's one thing that cheerleading can be really unique because you have so much money coming in that then goes out to other, uniform companies,
providers,
competitions. Yeah. And so an accountant that knows how that works would be huge. So if cheer accountants, we need more. That's what that is right there.
Just take any title and add cheer in front of it.
I'd love that.
Cheer engineer.
And you know what? When you think about how they set up the stages and everything, an engineer needs to know how to do that.
Exactly. A stage engineer. That's a very specific job. a cheer bus driver. Then you need buses to go to your competition. So just add cheer to anything you might want to do and it will work.
We'll find
It'll
it.
work.
We will make it. It's going to happen. Okay, so then let's do just a quick flash round of some questions. Let's do halter top or sleeves for practice gear. Which one do you prefer?
No sleeves, halter top.
No sleeves. Okay. What about for uniforms? Halter tops or sleeves?
Sleeves. It has to be sleeves on the mat. Yes.
Okay. Shorts or skirts for uniforms?
I prefer skirts.
Okay. And then for male uniforms, shorts or long pants?
I think long pants look better in their jump section, but I'm not opposed to shorts because it looks more uniform with the girls' uniform. So I
didn't think about that. I like that option. That's fun.
I'm on both sides, but let's say pants. If I had to choose, I'd say pants.
Okay, the bows with the tails or bows without tails?
With the tails, of course. They're bigger, they're bigger, they're prettier. I like them.
And then are you hair up or hair half down?
Hair up, yes. But I like the low ponytail or the low braid for another type of hairdo if you don't want the high hair.
Okay, what is your favorite competition to go to?
COP Brands. The Experience World Cup, yeah.
Ooh, okay. What about that one?
Yes, it's in Cancun, and who doesn't love to go to Cancun? It's so great. The beaches are fantastic. The weather is always perfect. And the parks over there, they're amazing. There's so many. You can have so much fun. And the competition is all in one day. So you compete once and then you enjoy the rest of your trip. And it's right before Christmas. So also the timing makes it so magical. And then you go back home and it's Christmas time. So yeah, there's nothing better.
100%. Okay. Easy answer.
Easy, yes.
And then what's your favorite venue to compete at?
You know what? I loved the bench shell. When the outside stage at Daytona Beach, I absolutely loved to compete there. Like you're doing your routine, you're doing your 2.5 pyramid, and you have the breeze from the sea blowing in your hair. You're doing your high V, you're crushing it. And it's just the routine flies by so fast and it's so refreshing because you're outside. So that must be the best venue and best stage that I've competed at. Yeah.
I love that. Okay, last question of our flash round, which is for end of season events, stay at home or travel?
Travel.
So our last question is, if you think back to 16-year-old Dominique, who has fallen in love with cheerleading and absolutely loves it, what do you wish that someone would have told you to help go after a career in cheerleading?
Let me think about it. Thinking of my 16-year-old self. I think just the affirmation, you will do great things. Continue to believe in yourself. And being consistent with your training. It will lead somewhere, just trust. And yeah, great things take time to build, you know? You cannot have your back tuck after 1 hour of trying it. You have to train for it and it takes a lot of consistency. But if you do it with great heart and you do it consistently over time, you can build your dream life.
I love that. Okay, where can people connect with you and check you guys out and all the things that you're going to do?
Yeah, so over at Cheer Action, we have our Instagram and Facebook, cheeraction.ca, and our website is the same, cheeraction.ca. And COP Brands our website is copbrandscanada.com, and on social media, COP Brands Canada also. Yeah.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for being a part of this podcast today.
It was a pleasure. Thank you for inviting me. I enjoyed this talk.
Awesome. Well, make sure to tune back in and check out our next episode where we answer the question, what happens after the routine ends?